Hey, you guys, let's do the sheriff's blotter. There's some bubble gum I'm chewing tonight, by the way. Double bubble gum. And if we have time left over, I'll even go to the online website and get more spooky police reports from the online website. Remember to lower your brightness and your contrast so your device won't be so bright. It'll be easier for your brain to relax and fall asleep. Okay. Here we are. Sheriff's Blotter, November 2016. A bicycle valued at nearly $200 was stolen from a backyard in the 200 block of such and such. Next, a juvenile male stole liquor from the Target store on the Main Street Boulevard. Next, a woman, age 45, was arrested for domestic violence after injuring her husband during a physical altercation in the 5,000 block of such and such. Next, a 36-year-old man and his 29-year-old wife were arrested for battering each other. Causing physical injury in the 1,500 block of such and such. Next, a man, age 27, was arrested for felony vandalism in the 1,700 block of such and such. A 33-year-old man was arrested for battering his wife, causing injury to her mouth in the 200 block of such and such. A man, age 41, was arrested on an outstanding Los Angeles County warrant here in town. Next, between October 31st and November 1st, a mailbox was heavily vandalized, causing approximately $30 in damage in the 700 block of such and such. Burglars unsuccessfully attempted to break into Kaiser such and such at the 300 block of the Main Street Boulevard by removing logs on the front door. Oh my goodness. A 46-year-old woman was arrested for making criminal threats in the 1,700 block of such and such. An 18-year-old man was arrested on a Santa Barbara County warrant on the such and such exit on the freeway of the northbound 101. Next, a woman, age 27, was arrested for domestic violence in the 100 block of such and such. Next, a 58-year-old man was arrested for domestic violence causing injury in the 1,200 block of such and such. Next, two men, aged 31 and 27, were arrested for injuring each other in the 1,400 block of such and such. Next, we have a 41-year-old man was was arrested for falsely identifying himself to police authority at the intersection of such and such streets. Next, a man, age 18, was cited for petty theft at the Boulevard Cafe in the 2000 block of such and such. Next, a man, age 25, was arrested for being under the influence of a controlled substance and for threatening police with 2 large knives in an attempt to resist arrest in the 2000 block of such and such. Next, a woman, age 18, and 2 men, age 21 and 36, were arrested for stealing a car and being under the influence of a controlled substance at Lewis, such and such. Their male companion, age 35, was arrested for possessing modified razor blades, stealing a car, and possessing burglary tools. More than $1,000 in property was stolen from a home in the 1600 block of such and such. Next, we have a 48-year-old man who was arrested on an outstanding warrant, 1600 block of such and such. Between October 29th and November 4th, police reported arresting 4 people on suspicion of driving under the influence of a controlled substance and 13 people on various drug charges. 2 people were arrested for public intoxication. Let's do it. Okay, so, Sheriff's Blotter. November 5th, a man, age 36, was arrested for domestic violence in the 1400 block of such and such. A 29-year-old man was arrested for giving false information to a police officer in the 300 block of such and such. Next, a man, age 54, was arrested on an outstanding county warrant in the 4000 block of such and such. A vandal spray-painted graffiti at the CMH building in the 400 block of such and such, causing $400 in damage. Next, a rock was thrown through the plate glass window of a business in the 2000 block of the Main Street Boulevard. Next, a 31-year-old man was arrested on an outstanding county warrant, 200 block of such and such. A man, age 21, was arrested for delaying a police officer in 200 block of such and such. More than $1,000 in property was stolen from a car in the 1700 block of such and such. Next, a man, age 18, and a woman, 19, were cited for shoplifting in the 200 block of Main Street Boulevard. 55-year-old woman was arrested for refusing to leave the private property, the 5,000 block of such and such. Next, a man aged 24 was arrested for elder abuse after battering his father in the 700 block of such and such. Next, about $600 in property was stolen from a car in the 500 block of such and such. Next, a section of the sidewalk west of a Main Street apartment complex was vandalized with orange graffiti. Next, November 9th, a man, age 46, was arrested for shoplifting and falsely identifying himself to law enforcement in the 200 block of the Main Street Boulevard. Next, 24-year-old man was arrested on an outstanding warrant in the 100 block of such and such. Next, a man, age 46, was arrested for domestic violence in the 100 block of such and such. Next, more than $1,000 in property was stolen from a car in the 700 block of the Main Street Boulevard. Next, a bike was stolen in the 1400 block of such and such a street. Next, a 50-year-old woman was arrested for injuring her spouse in the 5,000 block of such and such. Next, a man, age 42, was arrested on an outstanding warrant in the 2,000 block of such and such. Next, someone shattered the glass roll-up door at the car shop in the 200 block of such and such. More than $1,000 property was stolen from an unlocked car in the 2,000 block of such and such. Next, a brick was used to break windows of a group home in the 800 block of such and such. About $160 in merchandise was stolen from Target and the Main Street Boulevard. Next, 2 juveniles were arrested for battering multiple staff members at the local center in the 1700 block of such and such. And last but not least, we have between November 5th and 11th, police reported arresting 2 people on suspicion of driving under the influence of a controlled substance and 12 people on various drug charges. Wow. If you think this was all bad, wait till we go to the county website. That's going to be really terrible. So, kind of my question is, how come they don't put the spooky stuff in the sheriff's book? Why do you have to go to the website to see the real spooky stuff? That's just kind of interesting, I think. Okay, so here we have 7 people displaced by apartment fire, Saturday, November 19th. 7 people were displaced by an apartment fire early Saturday morning, approximately 4:30 a.m. when firefighters arrived on scene. They reported a working fire and had it knocked down in a short period of time. They say the occupants of the apartment were alerted to the fire by a working smoke alarm, and there were no injuries reported. Firefighters had cleared the scene by 6:30 that morning, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Next, we have local arrested for DUI after he crashes his vehicle into a house. Oh my goodness, there's a spooky picture of him. I would show you all the pictures, but I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know what the copyright rule is with that. Anyways, he's really spooky looking. Listen to this. Police say they have arrested a man for allegedly driving under the influence of alcohol and crashing straight into a house. That's not funny. The incident happened shortly before 11 p.m. Thursday night in the 1700 block of such and such. The vehicle collided with the garage portion of the house and no one was injured. You guys, I'm not laughing at drinking and driving. That is nothing to laugh at. What I'm laughing at is the picture in my brain of, a quiet family just sitting around quietly at night watching TV, and then they hear a big crash. But I need to not be so funny. Okay, the fire department determined that the structural damage to the house was not severe enough to make it structurally unsound. Police say when the officers made contact with the driver, they smelled alcohol on his breath, and a DUI investigation was started that included a witness statement that the man was driving erratically on such and such a road prior to the crash. Police say they arrested 31-year-old such and such for misdemeanor DUI. He posted $5,000 bail and was released from jail. According to court records, he has had 1 prior DUI conviction and 3 prior convictions for other being under the influence of drugs or alcohol. They were all misdemeanors. He is also awaiting trial on another misdemeanor charge of being under the influence of alcohol, and he's out and about. That is crazy. I don't know what's worse, the actual guy doing all this, or the court systems, or the way the system is set up to let him be out and about causing all this chaos. That is terrible. Ventura area county man is arrested for poaching neighbor's pot. The police say they arrested a man for allegedly stealing his neighbor's marijuana. The victim called the police Friday morning around 11:30 and reported that someone was stealing marijuana from his home, the 400 block of such and such. The victim told police he had evidence of the crime on his video surveillance camera. Police say the video shows on 2 occasions the suspect jumping the fence, going to the victim's garage, and taking the victim's medical marijuana. Officers contacted the suspect, who they say admitted taking 5 grams of marijuana during the burglaries, and authorities say the 25-year-old such and such of the county was arrested and booked into the county jail for felony first-degree burglary. Bail was set at $50,000. The county is checking up on registered sex offenders. Police conducted a sex registrant compliance check this past week. They checked up on 42 registered sex offenders in the city and found them all to be in compliance. The police conducted the check once. They conduct this check once a year to make sure the offenders are living where they should be and are in compliance with the terms and conditions of their probation and parole. They also checked up on one person who is an arson registrant. Oh, you have to register as an arsonist too if you're an arsonist? I didn't know that. Oh. These compliance checks are conducted by all law enforcement agencies in the county, and the police can also get information regarding sex registrants at the Megan's Law website. County seeks help in identifying a robbery suspect. On November 15th at 7 p.m., officers in the police department responded to a robbery call at the Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant on Main Street Boulevard. During the course of the investigation, it was learned that upon entering the business, the suspect in the pictures above approached the cashier and stated he had a gun and he demanded money. The suspect became impatient with the cashier after making several failed attempts to open the drawer, and he attempted to open the cash drawer himself. After several attempts, the suspect was also not able to open the cash drawer and exited the business. He was last seen walking westbound toward the freeway away from the business. The suspect never produced a gun. However, he can be seen on surveillance video. Placing his hand in the front of his waistband outside of his clothing prior to exiting the business. The suspect was described as a Hispanic male, medium height, thin build, in his late 20s or early 30s with a goatee. The suspect was last seen wearing a black baseball cap, which he wore backwards, a black t-shirt, and long dark-colored checkered shorts, white socks, and black tennis shoes. Please forward any information regarding the identity of the suspect to Detective such and such. Fuel spill contained in the county. Officials in the county say a fuel spill early Friday morning has been contained. At around 5:30 a.m., a tanker truck going through the pass road was struck by an object and started to leak fuel. Initially, they were worried that more than 7,000 gallons had spilled, but now they say it was more like 1,500. Firefighters from the county fire department and hazmat crews responded nearby housing was evacuated, but by mid-morning, evacuations was lifted and the spill was contained, and an area of the road is closed until further notice. They're doing cleanup and assessment to see what, if any, impact the spill has had on the local environment. No injuries reported. Next, we have from Friday a structure fire in the east side of the county. Firefighters extinguished a structure fire that broke out early Friday morning in a residential area in the East County. It was reported around 2:30 Friday morning, area of such and such a street. When firefighters arrived, they found a detached shed ablaze on fire with the flames extending into the garage of a nearby home. They had the fire fully extinguished about 16 minutes after arrival onto the scene. In addition, what? To the shed and garage on fire, there were some fire damage to the eaves of the adjacent home. No one was hurt, and how the fire started remains a mystery and is under investigation. A pedestrian struck by a train in the county. Update. An unidentified male was rushed to the trauma center after being struck by the Amtrak train. It was reported that around 5 p.m. Thursday afternoon, where the tracks cross over the river just around the bend of the boulevard, the male pedestrian was reportedly struck while the train was traveling at about 50 miles an hour. And he was struck by something that protruded from the side of the train. When firefighters arrived, they said that the male was in traumatic arrest and CPR was in progress. They transported him to the medical center by ambulance. Currently, his condition is unknown. No one on the passenger train was injured, and no other details have been released. Oh my goodness, a pair of men arrested for a series of county burglaries. Oh my goodness. And these two look so spooky. The county police believe they have solved a number of residential burglaries with the arrest of these two people pictured above. The burglaries happened North County, East County, and Mid-County the last several weeks. Police were investigating and began to look at two people as potential suspects, age 43 and 42, males of the county. Police say around the same time that these two were arrested, those were at the same time Santa Barbara County police by burglaries in a nearby town. They were located, one man located at the 600 block of such and such, taken into custody. The other one is still in custody at Santa Barbara County. A search of their homes turned up more evidence of stolen property, illegal drugs, and illegal crime activity. A third person was also arrested at the residence for an outstanding felony warrant and for drug charges. Sailboat runs ashore in the county. One person was reportedly injured after a little sailboat went ashore at the beach in the county around 4:30 on Wednesday afternoon. Initial reports indicated that a small sailboat had gone ashore with no sign of any people on board. They found one person on the beach near the boat, and he told rescuers he was the only person on board. He was being treated on the scene by medical personnel. Oh, goodness. And they have a serial bank robbery suspect arrested in the county. Good for them. The FBI says a serial bank robbery suspect who was under surveillance was taken into custody. The FBI was in on it. I says, he's 36 years old, from Beverly Hills. Are you kidding me? He had been dubbed the Faceless Bandit because he would always wear a mask during his holdups. He was wanted for bank robberies at banks all across the county, from Laguna Beach, Seal Beach, Torrance, Playa Vista, and the LA County Sheriff, and had helped the FBI identify him, and resulted in his arrest. And the FBI started surveillance on him, following him to the nearby county, where they took him into custody during a traffic stop. And it's unknown if he committed any other crimes in the county, but he's being held without bail. After being charged in federal court in Orange County,